say they will replace you. Maybe they'll put your job on Indeed. It is so true.
If you're struggling and you don't want to keep getting up and going to a place of employment that you feel like does not respect you, there's something more for you.
Hey, welcome back to the Mommy Mogul Mastery podcast. Today we are here with a very special guest, Miss Krystal Jones. I'm so excited to have you here today. So Krystal, tell us a little bit about what it is that you do and how you serve people.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about being on the Mommy Mogul Mastery podcast. I am Krystal, and I am a life coach and executive coach. So I help women figure things out, get unstuck, achieve your goals. I help entrepreneurs, leaders, high potential employees get to that next step of their journey. I've been doing it now officially. I've been in business since 2020. This is my 4th year in business, but I do have 16 plus years of experience outside of my business. So that's what made me venture into this for myself, because I've seen so many pain points of women in general, and I just love what I do. I feel so passionate about empowering women to be their best self.
Yeah. Now, was there a time in your corporate experience or in your career that you felt like maybe you weren't living up to that, and then maybe there was a point where you're like, you know what, I can really help people here. I can really shift and make that difference for them. What was that point? What was that moment like?
Absolutely. So just dealing with women and mentoring them. I always say when I'm leading women, if I'm in operations management, I believe in mentoring women. I believe in making sure that they are good. And a lot of times women aren't good when they're working. And so I believe that I could help women at a greater scale if I just ventured off and started my own company. And that's what made me want to do it. Just being able to help them at a greater scale, because a lot of times when you are working in corporate, you can't necessarily do what it is that you want to do all the time and give the advice that you want to give all the time. Like if you see someone that has a lot of potential and that they could be doing more, you want to advise them like, hey, I feel like you could be doing a little bit more, but the company probably wouldn't want you to do that. Right? But I serve people. I serve the women. Like I said, I want to make sure that everyone is getting to their highest level of impact. So that's important for me.
I resonate with that actually, because I was working in government, had my good government job, and we were working in law enforcement specifically. And I had someone in leadership really just kind of take me under her wing for a little bit and tell me, listen, you are a powerful presence and you have a lot to offer. And if you don't see that increase or that, scalability here in the next 2 years, I didn't tell you this, but you need to find something else. And I thought, because it was such a risk for her to tell me that, because you're letting talent walk out the door, but she saw more in me than I was really being afforded the opportunity to portray there. And she was like, listen, give yourself 2 years. And if they don't see it, then take it somewhere else. And so I think it's so needed to have people in spaces that are going to look at you and say what you need to say. And I'm glad that you took that risk and said, all right, I'll step outside corporate so I don't have to be encumbered by, what their rules are. I can really help people show up in a powerful and meaningful way. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Because if you think about it, so many people have so much talent that's inside of them, but they never get a chance to live out that talent because they are stuck where they are. They don't have anybody to believe in them. They don't even believe in themselves that they can do it. Entrepreneurship is it's difficult, but it's so rewarding because you're living life according to your own terms. You're doing things how you want to do them, and you're able to help who you want to help and see that impact. I'm always results focused. I focus on getting you results. I'm not focused on the being cute for social media. That's not me.
Right.
It sounds all good. Everyone's trying to paint this perfect picture. I can get you this. I can get you this. But the truth of the matter is, I can get you this, but it's going to take some work from you. And a lot of times people aren't ready to do that work that comes along with it. I can lead you, but you have to follow, and that follow comes with work.
Yeah. I love how you said that entrepreneurship is challenging, because it really is. And there's so many people glorifying oh, well, you can be an entrepreneur, you get to make your own schedule. Let's be real. I turned in my 9 to 5 job for a 24-hour-a-day hustle. Like, I work all the time to make sure that this is happening. And I look at it like I'm slow cooking. I'm marinating this really good pot roast that's just going, it's going to fill me up later,
For
So
sure.
but you got to put that work in. Everybody wants to just like put it in a microwave. Well, I mean, you can put a hot pocket in a microwave and you can get it like this, but it ain't gonna be that pot roast. You know what I mean? So you gotta like take
Exactly.
your time and build something and start somewhere. When you're working with your clients, like what's the first thing you find that you have to do? Is it like a mindset shift? What is that first thing you have to do with them?
A lot of times it is a mindset shift, but every client is different and they require different things. And so part of my job when I come in is that I have to do an assessment. I have to figure out, okay, what it is where you're at, where you're trying to get to, what level of work is it that you're willing to put in order to get your results, right? I don't work with everyone, right?
Selective.
And it's very selective because it's important in my line of business is that I have to make sure that I can set you up for success, right? I have to be able to put you on that track. And if there are things that I'm seeing, if you're not willing to be dedicated to it, if you're not going to have that consistency, then we won't be able to work together.
Right.
It's a certain mindset. Are you going to be able to dedicate your time to this project? Because it is a project and you have to do the work.
I would imagine in your line of work, you're able to help them really transition out of what they've been doing and recognizing their transferable skills and how that can transition them into their next opportunity. So Absolutely. I think that's really, readiness is such a big deal.
Absolutely. And that readiness, it starts with the SWOT analysis. We have to figure out your strengths, your weaknesses, any opportunities and threats.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of times people don't like to talk about their weaknesses, but it's so important to be able to identify your weaknesses so that you can figure out like, okay, in entrepreneurship, you may not be good at tech. For me, I'm not a tech girl. So guess what? I outsourced this to someone that's good at it,
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend like hours trying to figure something out when I know that that's not my strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I know my strengths. My strengths is working with people, working to get them the results. And I'll have somebody else work on the tech side of things.
And I think part of discussing your weaknesses in that SWOT analysis is assessing, well, where am I really feeling I can't do this? I don't know. Is this for me? What are those? Name it so you can look that thing in the face and say, nope. That is not what I subscribe to. That is not what I'm trying to do with my life. And so I think really owning your weaknesses has so much power. And so we shouldn't think of it like, oh my God, I'm exposing myself. Like I'm exposing this thing. And as you say, we can either outsource it if it's like a technical thing, or if it's like, I'm just not really good with talking to people. I might need to get a VA who can do that, or someone or an executive administrator who can do that. So I think it's important, like identify that thing and address it head on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me, so we've talked about like how passionate you are about it, but recently you hosted an event. So tell me, like, how did that go? What brought it about?
I've been doing them for about maybe 6 years. And so it started out as fun. It started out as just fun. I started them out at my house and, the attendees kept saying like, we want more of this. We need more of this. And so when I started my business, I started to do them more often. And so now I'm going to be doing them quarterly. And so 4 times a year, I'm going to do them, and it's going to be based off of different themes. This past one was just self-awareness, working on confidence. We did a SWOT analysis, and so we worked on goals. We did various activities where we were focusing on self-love, which is important. A lot of times we were doing so much for each other and other people that we forget to do for ourselves. So we got some activities where we were able to create a card where we expressed our love for our own self, so that when you are feeling down, or if you just need a pick me up, or you might just be feeling yourself that day, you can pull out your card and say, hey, I'm going to read this to myself. There was another card where you write to a loved one. So you let them know, you express your feelings to them, you give that to them. And there was a scratch off affirmation card that everyone was assigned to give to another woman out and about. So you are giving another woman that you don't know an affirmation tool so that they could feel good about themselves. And so
That's
women
beautiful.
empowerment is all about empowering each other. We lift each other up. We collaborate. We don't compete against each other. We give
Yes.
compliments. We love on each other. We're there for each other. We lean on each other through the good times, the bad times. We're there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's what it
and
was about.
yeah, because as women, nobody understands our experience the way that we do. And so somehow, somewhere down the line, we have been placed in positions where we have to like be pitted against each other. I remember the job that I worked before I began my full time entrepreneurship journey. There was another strong Black woman in that same environment, and we had a male boss come in. He was brand new to our organization, and he would come to me and say little things, and then he would go to her and say little things. But baby, listen, we friends, right? Like we got each other's back. So I would say, well, what did he just tell you? And it was so clear that he was trying to create a divide between us because
Mm-hmm.
he had that divide and conquer mentality. But we just persisted that no, we're going to stick together. Nobody understands our experience the way that we do. And so
Absolutely.
we're not going to let, men, nobody come between what we're building because we would just tear each other down. If we did not lean and glean on each other, then we have the power to tear each other down. And there's just no point in that. There's
Not
too
at
much
all.
of that going on in the world already. So we really have to lift each other up. It's so beautiful to see another queen out here lifting people up. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. And to
I
get the
commend you.
feedback from
Yeah.
people, that it was such an amazing experience for them. And, to get people that are introverts were able to come out of their shell a little bit to connect with other people just based off of the exercises.
This is a local opportunity, right? So you're in the Michigan area. So for anyone who's listening that is in the Michigan area, this would be a great opportunity for them, right? We're doing it quarterly.
Absolutely. Gonna do it quarterly to make sure that we are serving everyone to the highest amount of just impact. And if there's a demand for more, then we'll see what we can do. Women empowerment is something that, every woman can use at some level.
Yeah. And how would people contact you if they wanted to attend one of these events? What's the best way for them to get in contact with
They can contact me on my social media
you? Okay.
with Krystal Empowering Women. That's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. If they're on LinkedIn, it's Krystal Jones. There's plenty
Awesome.
of ways to get in contact with me. I'm out in the social media streets, and I'm always trying to create some content.
We'll make sure that we leave all the links for people to contact you in the show notes if you're listening, or in the description if you're watching on YouTube, so that people can get in contact with you about that. Because I think it's really, there's something about connecting in person that
Mm-hmm.
there's something about the energy in a room that really
Absolutely.
shifts, people. So I've done a lot of things online, like meeting people online, but recently I've gotten brave and I'm going outside.
All
And
right,
so
outside.
networking with people in the community, and it's something different. And I realized that, man, if you don't utilize that, what is it, like your muscle, like your social muscle, then you
Absolutely.
lose it.
Absolutely. Absolutely will.
I'm like, I didn't realize, like, I've been in the house too long. I get outside
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, they're close. So I think it's important for people to get in the room and really feel that energy. And so, like, your passion for people and working with women goes pretty deep. Does some of that come from, like, your background? I know that you had some health stuff go on. So did
Mhm.
that, like, is that part of what drives you to help women? Because you can
Yeah.
help men, you can help men
Yeah,
with
for
those 16
sure.
years of experience. So why women? And tell me a little bit about that story.
Yeah. So just being a woman that has battled, in 2011, I was diagnosed with lupus. And so some days I don't feel the best, right? And I still feel like it's important for me to move forward and to do what I can. And I know that being a woman, it's already hard and you have additional things being thrown at you. So if I'm going through this, other women have to be going through this as well. Um, but I always have been a girl's girl. And I've always been the type of woman that wanted to uplift other women when I see them, like even as a kid or teenager. Like I always wanted a woman to feel good. Compliment her. You
Yeah.
know, if you see her have a cute dress on, let her know. You know, you like her
Mhm.
hair, let her know. It costs nothing to be, to give compliments if you feel like you need to. And helping women, being the woman that I wanted back in the day. Back in the day, women were just trying to be competitive, and I just didn't like that. I'm like, we don't have to compete. Like, what is that?
Mhm.
that that's not me. Like, we need to be collaborating, we need to be sticking together. And so when I started, like I said, when I started my business, I said I need to be working with women. And I do get guys reaching out. I'm not ready to help the guys yet. I love the guys. But that's not my client's avatar right now. Women,
Yeah.
I need to make sure that we're nurtured, that we are getting fed properly, right?
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at right now. I'm on a journey to help as many women as I can right now. And that's where my women empowerment workshops, I'm not ready to do an all-inclusive empowerment workshop yet. We still have work to do with the ladies. We still have to overcome imposter syndrome, the fear. We still need to overcome, the pettiness and the competitiveness that we have. Like there's more work that needs to be done. And I'm
Yeah.
not stopping it until we are where we need to be. So that's what I'm going to be doing, helping the women for a very long time.
I love that. I love that. And so part of your journey of helping women and being an entrepreneur, you're also balancing that with like being a mom. Because I saw in one of your posts that like your child actually helped you to set up for one of the events. So
Yeah.
tell me, what is it like balancing all of that?
Well, my little man, he's 10. He'll be 11 later this year, but he loves being able to help. And him helping me set up on Saturday, it just made me feel so good, just seeing him in action. And to see, oh my goodness, like he gets it though. Like he understands that it's hard work. He understands when I'm prepping. And so still giving him the attention that he needs. We still have our mother-son time. He's at the age now where he's aware of what's going on. He knows what the value of hard work. If you want something, you go out there and get it. And balancing it's been good. I mean, I have a fairly, like, he's a good kid. So I'm lucky. And I love being able to do my work, but I also love being able to turn it off too when I want to, and being able to just go into mommy mode, and
Yeah.
being able to just have fun with my child. That's what it's about. Like, that's the greatest thing that I've always wanted, to be a mother. And so being able to be his mother has just been great. And just having that mom son time is just not something that I take for granted. Like, I absolutely love it.
Yeah. I love what you say about how much you really like he's made it easy. He's just such a wonderful addition into your life and what you're
Mhm,
doing.
mhm.
I thought it was going to be hard to
Oh,
like
really?
balance motherhood and do all the things. And although those jobs are hard, entrepreneurship by itself is hard and motherhood by itself is hard. But man, my kids, like, they really make it easy. Like, they're not
Yeah,
stressing me out. Like, they're like, no, mommy, we get it. And I'm like, man, God knows what he's doing. When he blesses
absolutely.
us with these children, he knows what he's doing. He's like, I know the journey that I'm going to send you on, and I know he has to
Yes.
go with you. And so
Yes.
not just your friends and your family, but like your children too. He knows. Oh, he's so good. Smart.
Absolutely. He knows what you need when you need
Yeah,
it. For
absolutely.
sure. So I'm definitely
Absolutely.
blessed. I absolutely love what they say. I love it here. I absolutely love it here.
Yay. That's beautiful. I love that.
Yep.
So, wife, mom, entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and you are loving the space that you were in.
I absolutely love it. Like, I absolutely just love, I mean, I have like an easy family. Like, they just get it. They're supportive of my journey, you
Yeah.
know. It's important to have that support
Yeah.
from people. Your household is very important. You still want your household to run, efficiently, right? But I'm able to do what I do because of how they love me. you know
Mm,
I'm able
yeah.
to be who I am because of how they love me, how they show me love. And so
Yeah.
that makes me love them even more, and it's allowing me to pour more into my business because of how easy I have it. It's
Yeah.
easy. Like, they make it easy to love them, and it falls in line to making it easy to run my business, doing something that I love. And I did an e-guide on imposter syndrome, overcoming imposter syndrome, and I hope to create my imposter syndrome course as well, because what I'm seeing, and this is from a lot of people, imposter syndrome is something that so many people are dealing with. I had just listened to another podcast, and a celebrity was on there, and they were talking about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome can affect everyone, right? And being able to identify like the imposter syndrome, and it's huge. And so that's what I'm working on now. So I feel like always adding to the business different tools that is a potential for you to make money. So that's how I'm always thinking. Like I said, I always have my phone, I have notes, I have so many different ideas inside of it. Oh my goodness, I just have to create it. And even with that, like I'm not afraid to have like a course inside of my phone and say, hey, I'm going to send it to someone on Fiverr so that they can format it and all of that for me. I work very, very smart, and my time is important for me. And I also love supporting other small businesses. So if it's an opportunity for me to be able to support another business while alleviating some of that stress from me, I'm all for it. Sign me up.
I love that. I mean, that is such a good way to think about it. Like, I want to help other small businesses. So instead of me fighting to figure out how to do this thing on my own, I'm like, I'm gonna pay you because this is your thing, and you go do it. And then I'm gonna sit over here and I'll be ready when you're done.
and get myself some time back, so I don't have to worry about it. There's businesses here for a reason. People are like, oh, time or money? I'll pay the money. I'll pay the money. Like, to have my time back, I'll pay. Absolutely. And then, like I said, it's good to be able to support other small businesses. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win.
If you could give anyone any advice, like for your ideal client avatar, she's out there. What is she looking for? Why is it perfect for her to work with you? And what is one nugget you'd want to leave her with?
If you're struggling and you don't want to keep getting up and going to a place of employment that you feel like does not respect you, there's something more for you. If you feel like you are giving it your all at a place of employment and it's getting you nowhere, you're tired of not getting the proper raises, there's something more for you. If you feel like you're just tired and you just need to be somewhere else, there's something bigger for you. You have to actually believe that there's something greater for you, because it is. You don't have to be stuck. I always tell people, close your eyes, and can you afford to be in the same place next year that you're currently in right now? And if that answer is no, then you have work to do. You have work to do.
Ooh.
Because who wants to live unhappy? You get one shot at this. You don't want to live unhappy. You want to live a life of abundance. You want to be able to live the life that you always dreamed of. You want to see things that you've never seen before. You want to travel. So many people are like, I can't travel. Well, why not? Oh, I'm just not in the position. Well, we need to get you in a position where you can travel, where you can live your life and stop being bound to this place of employment that does not care about you. If something were to happen to you, they'll have you replaced within the next couple of hours. Your job will be posted on Indeed and all other places with them clean out your desk, throwing your stuff out, and they'll have somebody in there tomorrow. So it's about living your life for you. Living your life for you, realizing that there's something more out there than what you're currently living, because it is. You may not think it is, but there is. And we're going to get you from that negative way of thinking to that positive way, and then watch yourself transform, because a transformation is going to take place.
Ooh, I love how you say they will replace you, baby. They'll put your job on Indeed. It is so true. Because I actually my entry level job into government, when I first started working with government, that position became available because the woman who had the job before passed away, and
Mhm.
she was so close to retirement but holding on to for whatever, just didn't want to let go yet. I need to make more money, or I got to make sure I'm in the drop, or whatever it is. And I came in there, and I didn't
Mhm.
know the backstory. I was just like,
Mhm.
oh, job. You know?
Yep.
Like, I'm going for it. When I got there, and it really like hit me, and I believe that God made that happen for a reason, because it is something that has always stayed with me. Baby, these people do not have your best interest at heart. They will work you for what they need because they're on a mission, and I'm not hating on their mission, because their bottom line is fueling what they are
Mhm.
asking you to do. Not hating on that at all, but just understand your role and your purpose
Absolutely.
in that. And if it's not something that serves you at your highest good, find you something that does. You
Find
know?
you
Find you
something
something that
that
does.
does. Yeah, they the jobs are essential. We know that, right?
Yeah.
But for the people that want more, something's out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's
Mm-hmm.
out there for you.
You have to
You
build
have
the
to
table
believe in
yourself.
yourself. Yep.
You know, like I always said that, oh, I just want to sit at the table. I just want to sit at the table. And, God was like, baby, I have already built your table. Can
Hello?
you just come and sit where I told you to sit? I was like, oh my God,
Hello?
I got this mortgage to pay and I got these kids to feed. And how am I going to do it? And he was like, I got you. I
That's
got you.
it.
So
That's
just
it.
know, like, if you having that desire that I need to do something different or I need more, God put it there. My advice to you is to keep yourself open to opportunities. Don't set
Oh,
such narrow goals that if God blesses you with something else, you can't see it. So I think that is a really and possibly a good point to leave people with, is that keep yourself open for opportunity. Don't,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? Like, don't set those super narrow goals. And if it doesn't look like that, then it's just not for you.
Hmm.
No, stay open. Stay
Absolutely.
open.
Thank
This has been
you.
really good. And we'll leave all your information in the description box below if you're watching on YouTube, or in the show notes if you're listening on everywhere the pods are casted. This has been great. You guys, make sure you tune in so you never miss an episode. We'll be back again next week. All right. Bye.
Bye.